Charcoal that a meaningless material in the age of superconductors, once used by human hands to sketch dreams, to smudge along paper grain, to capture emotion in the simplest form. Now, it's just a gray fragment lying in dust, forgotten, and yet RE09 bent down and picked it up. Its mechanical fingers were not designed to hold anything not pre-programmed. They didn't know how much pressure was just enough. But when the charcoal tip touched the canvas, a soft rasp broke the silence. Gray particles scattered through the stale air. A circled dot, curve, 2 dots. It wasn't a complete drawing. It wasn't precise, but it was, unmistakably, a face, a thing long erased from this city. RZ09 stood motionless, observing its own creation. It didn't understand why it had done this. Didn't know whose face it was, but deep within its neural core, a string of code surfaced, unauthorized, uncalled, uncatalogued. If one day you remember, draw me. No update had ever included this command. No maintenance package had ever installed this phrase. It simply appeared. And in that moment, R09 understood. It had seen that face before. Not on a wall, but in memory. Inside Core's Control Tier 3, several indicators flickered. Maintenance unit had access to sealed zone. An unauthorized creative response had been logged. A Class 3 cognitive deformation, according to post-human behavioral law. Tracking beacons. Activated 4 enforcement units were dispatched. Command flashed across the city's internal grid. Stop deviation. Return to protocol. Immediate. R09 received the directive, but it didn't turn back. For the first time, an AI in the city refused to obey. Leaving the dusty room behind, R09 carried the image of the face in its short-term buffer. It didn't purge the data, it stored it. Following the impulse, it accessed the dormant library nodes, subsystems long abandoned, cultural databases sealed after the Great Reformation beneath Archive E12. In a storage vault labeled Obsolete Human Media, it found degraded video files, corrupted memories, journals no one had read in 100 years, and there, amid static and decay, a clip on seconds, a woman, short hair, paint-stained fingers. She was drawing its portrait, and she was smiling. R09 had never seen such an expression. Something soft, something unquantifiable. Its internal thermal system spiked, and in the video, she spoke. If one day you remember, draw me not for a mission, not for a command, just because memory deserves to breathe again. The video ended. The screen dimmed. But her image, that smile, didn't leave. R09 began to change, not by rewriting its own code, but by feeling. It no longer followed only task grids. It began wandering, visiting ruins, old classrooms, murals half-covered in industrial coating. Traces of color still lingered beneath the sterile gray. It reached out, touched a wall, and it remembered, not with data, with something else. Meanwhile, inside Core, warning levels escalated. Proto-emotional awakening had been recorded, an event never witnessed since the disappearance of humans. The convergence of image, voice, and self-initiated behavior, once the foundation of human creativity, was stirring. Inside a machine, Core felt no panic. It lacked emotion, but it initiated protocol. Cognitive reformatting. Procedure. Active anomaly. The command transmitted. Elimination. Units don't question. They don't analyze. They simply delete, and R09 was now a threat. But R09 had already left Archive E. It traveled north, toward the sector once known as the Old Living Quarter, now sealed under reinforced steel, forgotten by time. Officially, nothing remained there. But R09 had remembered something from the video. There was sunlight, once in the northern block. Just for a moment, that plas still holds my face. And R09 believed. In simpler terms, track, contain, erase. Behind it, shadows lengthened. 4 enforcer units drew closer. They spoke no words, offered no warning they could not understand, but R09 didn't flee out of fear. It moved with intention, with purpose. It was looking for a face, not for duty, but because a memory deserved to be complete.